The hidden world. At the end of the Earth, Antarctica's secret life and its profound impact on human civilization. In 1911, when Captain Robert Falcon Scott's frozen body was discovered in his tent alongside his final diary entry, "For God's sake, look after our people," the world believed Antarctica was nothing more than a lifeless wasteland. They were catastrophically wrong. Beneath the ice that claimed Scott's life thrived one of Earth's most extraordinary ecosystems, a biological treasure trove that would reshape our understanding of life itself and become humanity's most crucial laboratory for survival. The continent that killed explorers was actually teeming with life so alien and resilient that it would eventually unlock secrets of survival in the most impossible conditions, revolutionize medicine, and provide the key to understanding whether life could exist on Mars. The invisible empire beneath the ice. Long before humans ever set foot on Antarctica, this frozen continent was orchestrating one of the planet's most sophisticated biological networks. In the depths of Lake Vostok, buried beneath 2 miles of ice for over 15 million years, scientists would eventually discover a liquid water ecosystem larger than Lake Ontario, a hidden world that had been evolving in complete isolation since before humans walked the Earth. But the true revelation wasn't just the existence of this subglacial lake. It was what lived within it. Microorganisms unlike anything on Earth's surface had evolved in absolute darkness, under crushing pressure, in water so pure it would kill most surface bacteria. These weren't just survivors. They were evolutionary masterpieces that had rewritten the rules of biology. The implications struck the scientific community like lightning. If life could flourish in such extremes, what did that mean for the search for life beyond Earth? NASA immediately recognized that these Antarctic organisms were the closest thing to potential Martian life we might ever study. The frozen continent had become our planetary laboratory for astrobiology. The penguin paradox and the climate code. While scientists marveled at microscopic life, the continent's most visible inhabitants were writing their own chapter in the story of planetary survival. Emperor penguins, those tuxedo-clad icons of Antarctica, were not merely charismatic megafauna. They were living, breathing climate historians. Each penguin colony represented a biological time capsule. Their ancient rookery sites, some used continuously for thousands of years, contained layers of guano that preserved climate records more detailed than tree rings. When researchers analyzed these deposits, they uncovered a shocking revelation. Antarctica's climate had been far more variable than anyone imagined, swinging between ice ages and warm periods with alarming frequency. But here's where the story takes an unexpected turn that would reshape human understanding of our planet's future. The penguins themselves were inadvertent geoengineers. Their massive colonies, visible from space, created unique microclimates that affected local weather patterns. Their guano fertilized the surrounding ocean, creating blooms of phytoplankton that absorbed enormous quantities of carbon dioxide. These birds weren't just surviving in Antarctica. They were actively shaping its environment and, by extension, the global climate system. The revelation that Antarctica's wildlife was intimately connected to global climate regulation sent shockwaves through the scientific community. This wasn't a remote, isolated continent. It was the planet's thermostat, and its diverse life forms were the intricate mechanisms keeping Earth's climate in balance. The pharmaceutical gold rush. In the 1980s, a discovery in Antarctica's frigid waters would launch what insiders called the pharmaceutical gold rush of the poles. Antarctic fish, faced with waters that should have frozen their blood solid, had evolved antifreeze proteins, biological marvels that prevented ice crystals from forming in their tissues. When biotechnology companies realized the implications, a frenzy began. These antifreeze proteins could revolutionize organ preservation for transplants, improve frozen food quality, and even enhance the effectiveness of chemotherapy. But the true treasure lay deeper. Antarctic bacteria produced compounds that showed unprecedented antibiotic properties. effective against drug-resistant superbugs that were becoming humanity's next great medical threat. The economic impact was staggering. By the early 2000s, biotechnology derived from Antarctic organisms was generating billions in revenue. Ice-loving enzymes from Antarctic bacteria were being used in everything from laundry detergents that worked in cold water to industrial processes that could operate at previously impossible temperatures. The continent that had claimed so many lives was now saving them on an industrial scale. The krill connection, feeding the world. Perhaps no single species better illustrates Antarctica's global significance than Antarctic krill. Tiny shrimp-like creatures that most people have never heard of, but that support the largest animal migration on Earth. Every day, trillions of krill rise from the depths to feed at the surface, creating a biomass so massive it can be seen from space and constitutes one of the largest protein sources on the planet. This isn't just an interesting biological fact. It's a cornerstone of global food security. Krill support not only Antarctica's whales, seals, and penguins, but also commercial fisheries thousands of miles away. The nutrients from krill feed the Southern Ocean's food web, which in turn supports fish populations across the Pacific and Atlantic. When krill populations fluctuate, the effects ripple through the global ocean ecosystem and ultimately onto dinner plates worldwide. The sobering reality is that climate change is now threatening this foundational species. As sea ice retreats, the algae-rich undersurface of which provides krill's primary food source, the entire Antarctic food web teeters on the brink of collapse. The implications extend far beyond Antarctica's borders, threatening food security for billions of people who depend on marine protein. The Ice Memory Project and Humanity's Future. Hidden within Antarctica's ice lies perhaps the most valuable library on Earth, a detailed record of our planet's atmospheric history stretching back nearly 1 million years. Each layer of ice contains trapped air bubbles that preserve ancient atmospheres like pages in a book. These frozen archives have revealed the intimate relationship between atmospheric carbon dioxide and global temperature, providing the foundational evidence for understanding climate change. But Antarctica's ice cores revealed something even more startling. Rapid climate changes in the past happened not over millennia, but within decades. The continent's geological memory suggested that our current climate system could shift far more rapidly than previously thought, making Antarctica not just a witness to climate history, but a prophet of humanity's potential future. Scientists racing against time are now drilling deeper than ever before, seeking the oldest ice on Earth. Each new core drilled represents another chapter in the planet's climate story, another clue to understanding how quickly our world might change and how life, including human civilization, might adapt. The ultimate laboratory for human survival. Today, Antarctica serves as humanity's ultimate testing ground for survival in extreme environments. The research stations scattered across the continent aren't just studying the ice, they're laboratories for human psychology, technology, and adaptation. The isolation, extreme weather, and logistical challenges mirror conditions future astronauts might face on Mars or lunar bases. The lessons learned from Antarctica's wildlife and ecosystems are now being applied to develop technologies for sustainable living in harsh environments. From energy systems inspired by penguin huddles to water purification methods based on ice crystal formation, Antarctica's life forms continue to provide blueprints for human innovation. The continent that once represented the ultimate frontier of human endurance has become our classroom for planetary survival. As climate change accelerates and human population grows, the biological strategies perfected over millions of years in Antarctica may hold the keys to our species' future. In the end, Antarctica's true significance lies not in its remoteness, but in its connectivity. Every organism that has learned to thrive in this impossible place offers insights into resilience, adaptation, and survival that echo far beyond the frozen continent. The diverse life of Antarctica isn't separate from human civilization. It's intimately connected to our past, present, and future survival on this planet and beyond. The continent that killed explorers now offers to save us all. We need only be wise enough to listen to its ancient lessons before it's too late.